Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today I have a review for you of a fragrance that was released in 1996. It is from the house of Versace. It is none other than Versace's The Dreamer. This is the bottle. You can see, sorry about the background of it, but the bottle kind of comes in this very simple looking bottle. It has a little bit of a seal on the front of it, frosted. The top, the cap, it doesn't really have a cap at all, but it has this kind of sprayer that you just push down and get a little bit of spray from it. Now, that may not seem like a lot to spray, but for this fragrance, since this fragrance is so powerful, it actually is enough for what it actually disperses. So don't worry about the spray, even though it may seem a little bit weak. So this fragrance again was released in 1996. It's a little bit of an older fragrance. The parfumé, I'm sorry, is Jean-Pierre, and I cannot pronounce his last name. Starts with a B, but you can go ahead and feel free to look that up. Now, as far as price goes, you can expect to pay anywhere between $30 and $70 for a 3.4. Since this fragrance has been around for so long, you can generally find some good deals on it. But as with all fragrances that have been around a while, look out for fakes that you may see around. Although I'm not sure if this one is a heavily faked fragrance, but again, with all these fragrances that come out, be careful with it. So, and expect to pay anywhere between $30 and $70 for a 3.4. This is a 1.7. Not as big. Again, I don't, go for the bigger sizes of fragrances. So let's get on to the notes for these. The top notes consist of juniper berry and lily. Our mid consists of iris, and our base consists of tobacco, amber, and tarragon. Now, immediately when you spray this fragrance, it is right off the bat, it's a very aggressive fragrance. You get a very heavy dose of tobacco, and I get a very metallic, herbal kind of note that kind of comes in with the fragrance. The lavender comes out pretty strong as well. So really what you kind of get this weird tobacco, really strong, and it's not like a traditional tobacco. It's almost like a metallic-y tobacco mixed in with a little bit of herbal floralness. It's really weird. I'm not a fan of the opening, but if you can get past the opening, which is going to last about 30 minutes, an hour, it starts to get to a nicer dry down where the lavender starts becoming a little bit more prominent, tobacco calms down, and it becomes a very nice masculine scent in general as it's dried down. The opening turns off, or at least it turned me off. I had to give it a couple of wearings to actually, kind of get the true feel of it. But overall, it's a decent scent. Now, it's not one of my favorite scents, again, because of the opening, and yes, while it turns into a nice scent, it is not really my cup of tea. A lot of people have compared it to Le Male, for example, which is another fragrance that is heavy on the lavender, but Le Male has vanilla that sweetens it out. This fragrance is sweet, but in a different way, not in that vanilla sweet type way, almost in a weird tobacco-y sweet type way, even though it's not a true tobacco. It's really hard to describe, but it definitely is a very unique fragrance, and it still is a unique fragrance despite the fact that it was released in 1996. So definitely something to look at. For sprays, I give this fragrance anywhere between 2 and 3 sprays. You can probably get away with even 1 spray of this fragrance depending on where you're actually wearing it to. For the occasion, you can pretty much wear this for any occasion. It's casual. You can wear it for business. Again, just regulate how many sprays you want to spray on. It may start off extremely strong, but it's going to dry down to a scent that is a lot more manageable than it might seem right off the bat. You could use it for work, date, you name it. The key thing here is it pretty much has to kind of match who you are. I don't think everyone can pull this fragrance off. It really has to be with a certain type of person that pulls it off. So just keep that in mind. Season, fall, winter, definitely jump right off at the bat, but you can probably get away with it during the spring. So think about kind of those type of times for it. Age group, 18 plus for sure. I'm not sure if a younger person can really pull this one off. It is a very masculine scent. It does come off as a little bit more mature than a couple other scents that come out. But again, as with all fragrances, try it out on your skin, see how it goes well with you. So let's see what some other people thought about this fragrance.
It's an okay scent. It's a little bit sharp on the nose, and you really have to be a certain type of man to be able to wear that scent and get away with it. You have to be very masculine, uber masculine. I give it a C.
Not a pleasant scent. It smells like eucalyptus. Smells like, please audience don't take offense, but something that your grandfather would wear. I personally, if I was a man that is, would not wear this one. But if I did, I'd have to give this one a letter grade of C minus. And it's only by name alone that it's not getting a failing grade. Back at you.
This one smells like something I was drinking, like candy alcohol, like peppermint schnapps or something. And usually like a little buzz, but I give it I say a B as well.
So the responses were okay, sharp, a certain type of man has to pull it off, very masculine, kind of candy feel, alcoholish, eucalyptus, okay-ish feel. So those are, and with ratings of a C, B, and a C minus for it. So the ratings for this fragrance weren't off the wall, and that's kind of the general impression, even outside of these three people who smell this scent. That's the general impression that they gave me, that it wasn't something that jumped out at them, that it was an okay fragrance, something that was unique, but at the same time it was okay. It wasn't bad, it wasn't great, it was okay. And that's kind of the overall theme that I get from the fragrance as well. Other than that, it's, compliment-wise along those routes, again, it just got as okay. It didn't really scream out to anyone, but the other thing that I attribute it to is I don't think it really matches me as well as it may match some other people. So always good to keep that in mind. So let's get on to the ratings. For scent, I'm going to give this one a C minus. Scent, again, not my cup of tea, not my favorite scent. It's not a terrible scent, but I put it just below average, which is why it's getting a C minus for scent. For projection, I'm going to give this one a B plus. Projection-wise, it projects excellent coming out the gates, and it remains good projection throughout the fragrance, even though it does calm down, but it still remains with some pretty good projection. For sillage, give this one a B minus. Sillage, the scent trail that it leaves behind, it starts off with a very strong scent trail, but as it dries and calms down, it turns into just a little bit of a above average, slightly good sillage or scent trail that it leaves behind. So scent trail or sillage, B minus. Uniqueness. Despite the fact that it's been out since 1996, it is still a pretty unique fragrance, and there haven't been many, if any, fragrances that I've seen that have really copied this fragrance at all. This fragrance is pretty unique in its own right. There are not many fragrances that you're going to find with that tobacco and vanilla done the way this has done it. So unique, B plus. If you're looking for unique fragrance, look at this route. For longevity, 6 to 12 hours longevity is what I get. I have heard that some people have gotten more, but this doesn't go too far on my skin. It may be how much that I'm spraying on, but 6 to 12 hours is what I get. For versatility, I'm going to go ahead and give this one an A minus. Despite the fact that it comes through as a very aggressive and powerful scent that kind of dries down to a lavender, you can wear it in any occasion as long as you are careful of how you actually apply it. So for versatility, give this an A minus. For compliments, I'm going to give this one a C plus, just above average. I did get 1 or 2 compliments on it. There were 3 or 4 people who really did like the scent out of it that they actually smelled, but other than that, it really wasn't a powerhouse that jumped out and grabbed people in that, with some of the better fragrances that I have. Even La Male usually gets some nice compliments, but this one nowhere near the amount that good ones get. So compliments, C plus. And for overall, I'm going to give this fragrance a B. The reason I'm going to go ahead and give it a B is I think it would serve. You're looking for a unique fragrance, something that almost no one definitely smells like. If you're looking for something, it's got great performance. It's, it doesn't slouch in that, so it's not really lacking in that area. It, again, unique, great performance. Again, I'm not a fan of the scent of it. But if you actually like this scent, this could be a scent that, pairs with you perfectly. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free, let me know. Send me a message, leave a message down below, do whatever you got to do. Thank you, take care, and have a great day.